Okay, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about 7 specific shifts in your mindset. Now, these aren't just about, thinking positive. Think of them more like major upgrades to your internal operating system, the kind that can unlock a whole new level of what you're capable of.
So let me ask you this, right off the bat. What if the biggest thing holding you back, the one thing standing between you and your goals, isn't your talent, or your bank account, or your circumstances, but something inside your own head?
You see, we all have these invisible scripts running in the background of our minds. They're like these little mental programs, these traps that we picked up along the way. And they end up dictating our reactions, our choices, and our results, usually without us even noticing.
And that brings us to this big idea, the mindset trap. It's like a cage we build for ourselves, made out of our own default ways of thinking. It actually limits what we believe is even possible for us in the first place.
But here's the really exciting part. What if you weren't stuck with those scripts? What if you could actually become the programmer? You could get in there and consciously rewrite the code, choosing a new mindset, a new way of operating. That is exactly what we are going to dive into.
So let's get to it. We're going to start at the very bottom, with the foundation. These first 2 shifts are absolutely critical. They're the bedrock for everything else because they change the fundamental way you see yourself and the world around you.
Okay, first up, and this one is a giant, moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A fixed mindset basically says, this is who I am, my talents, my intelligence, they're set in stone. A growth mindset, on the other hand, believes that your abilities can be developed. It's all about dedication and hard work. It's the difference between saying, I'm just bad at math, and saying, I haven't figured out this kind of math yet.
Carol Dweck, the psychologist who really pioneered all this work, she just nails it with this quote. She points out that it's not just about believing you can get better. It's about finding a passion for the process, for stretching yourself, especially when it gets hard and things aren't going your way. That's the real magic.
All right, the second foundational shift is from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Scarcity looks at the world like it's a fixed pie. If someone else gets a big slice, that means there's less for you. An abundance mindset believes the pie is always expanding. There's plenty of opportunity, plenty of success, plenty of happiness to go around. It's about seeing possibilities instead of limitations.
So how do you make that switch? Well, this quote from Tony Robbins gives us a huge clue. He says gratitude is the key. When you start really focusing on what you already have, that fear of not enough starts to melt away. And when it does, you suddenly start seeing all the opportunities that were there the whole time.
Okay, our foundation is set. Now let's move up a level to the mindsets that have a direct impact on our day-to-day actions. This is all about how you actually engage with the world and move toward your goals.
This is a big one. Are you reactive? Just waiting for life to happen to you and then you react? Or are you proactive, taking responsibility, making things happen yourself? A reactive person will blame their circumstances. A proactive person works to create their circumstances.
And wow, Stephen Covey just boils this down perfectly. This quote is like a declaration of independence for your own life. It's about taking ownership. Your life isn't defined by what happens to you. It's defined by the decisions you make in response. That is the very heart of being proactive.
Next up, we have the shift from a consumption mindset to a creation mindset. It is so easy to spend our days just consuming, scrolling through feeds, watching videos, listening to podcasts. A creation mindset flips that script. It pushes you to ask, what can I add to the world today? What can I build or write or share or solve? It's about becoming a producer, not just a consumer.
So we've looked at our foundation and our actions. Now let's talk about the journey itself. These next 2 shifts are all about perspective, how you interpret the inevitable bumps and bruises you're going to get along the way.
How do you see failure? Seriously, think about it. Is it a dead end, a final judgment on your skills, or is it just feedback? Is it just data, a lesson telling you what not to do next time? When you start seeing failure as feedback, it completely loses its power over you. It's no longer scary, it becomes one of your most powerful tools for getting better.
This classic line from Churchill just perfectly captures the spirit of this. Success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about being able to get knocked down, get back up, and keep going with that same fire in your belly. It's all about resilience, and that resilience is fueled by believing that every stumble is actually a step forward. This shift can literally change your entire emotional state from one moment to the next. It's the move away from a complaint mindset
which is always scanning the horizon for what's wrong, to a gratitude mindset, which actively looks for what's right. One just drains all your energy and the other one fuels you. You're looking at the exact same reality, just through a completely different lens.
So we've covered 6 really powerful shifts, but there's a 7th, one that acts like a master key. It's the one that unlocks and enhances all of the others. And that is the shift to a mindset of deep, genuine curiosity. Now, let's break this down. A curiosity mindset isn't something you just have. It's an active approach to life. It's about choosing to ask questions instead of just accepting easy answers. It's about choosing to explore rather than sticking with what's comfortable. And it's about truly embracing the fact that there's always more to learn.
And the best part is, this isn't some vague idea. You can actually practice it. You can build this muscle. Start by asking why about something, and then ask it again and again. Go deeper. Intentionally explore one totally new topic every single week. And maybe, most important of all, get really comfortable saying the words, "I don't know yet." That little word "yet" changes everything.
Okay, so we've gone from understanding these mental traps that we all fall into to laying out a really clear path to get out of them. Let's put this all together.
Here they are, all in one place, moving from fixed to growth, from scarcity to abundance, from reactive to proactive, from consumption to creation, viewing failure as feedback, not final, choosing gratitude over complaint. And the master key that ties it all together is curiosity.
But please, remember this. These are not just nice-sounding ideas. They are tools. Think of them as a toolkit for your mind. Each one is a new lens you can consciously pick up and look through the next time you're facing a challenge or an opportunity.
And that really brings us to the only question that truly matters right now. You don't have to tackle all 7 of these at once. That's not the point. The point is to just start. So which one of these shifts resonates with you the most? Which one feels like the one you need most in your life right now? Which one will you decide to start practicing today?